Coming up is our Survivor for the Week, sponsored by Unique Trust.
Unique Trust. Achieving is our attitude. Unique Trust. They say no, we say why not.
Unlike other people we have met in this series, our survivor for this week was not born into a poor home. But as is the case with young people, Socrates Safo had the gut feeling that he was not cut out for formal education. His desire to follow his feelings led to confrontations with his father, compelling him to leave home at age 15. Meet our survivor, Socrates Safo, brought to you in association with Unique Trust, your loan in 48 hours.
Most people who are not successful often blame their woes on the lack of opportunities or how they came from a dysfunctional family and so on. There are others who, in spite of the odds stacked against them, will do all it takes to grab even the slim opportunities that come along. Such people are prepared to be forsaken by their families and friends if that's what it takes to attain their goals. One of such persons is 41-year-old Socrates Safo, who refused to be cowed into submission when he decided to embark on what many thought was a mission impossible. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, so to speak, because his family was relatively well off. But young Socrates decided that he was taking his destiny into his own hands, no matter what his family and friends said. This is exactly what young Safo did at the age of 15. Unlike most children, Safo left his comfortable home in Osuari to live in the slums at Bukom when he was just 15. His very disappointed father was not amused at all and decided to teach him a lesson for what he called his insolence, dishing out a few slaps for what he described as Socrates' stupid decision.
After he completed basic school at that time, I wanted him to continue in an engineering school, but he said no. But I went ahead and paid his fees. After 6 months, his teachers came to tell me he has not been attending classes. I got very angry, so when I got hold of him, I gave him the beating of his life until he ran from the house.
Life at Bukom was not what young Safo envisaged. It was so tough, especially for someone who had all his needs at the snap of a finger. Here he was like the prodigal son with nothing to eat and no one prepared to care. Socrates began to do odd jobs selling coconuts just to feed himself. At his wit's end, he decided to combine schooling with playing football. He says he was very good and could have become an Abedi Pele or Anthony Yeboah, but there was yet this passion that he couldn't resist.
As the days goes by, my passion for filmmaking outweighed football, and I had to abandon football. I should say that I got to a higher level in footballing, but it got to a point where I have to abandon it and concentrate on filmmaking.
Because of this, Socrates decided to work as a cleaner in what in those days was called a cinema house.
I found myself in a video center because I like watching films, and to me it was an opportunity for me to be able to have the opportunity to watch films every day, and I can't afford to pay, so I went there to seek employment as a cleaner. And in the evenings I'll go and clean, in the afternoons or evenings we'll go and play football.
The paltry sums he earned was not enough to enable him chase his dream. He sometimes regretted leaving the comfort of his home, but he felt he could not go back to the laughter and jeering of his parents and friends. He could not buy a decent meal, let alone clothe himself. He trudged the streets and alleyways of the capital barefooted and sometimes had to go to the beach just to look for discarded footwear for his sore feet.
In those days we used to go to the beach and look for chaliwati because I don't have money to buy it, so you look through the debris at the beach and you find one blue one and you look through and get another blue one of the same size, and that is what you wear.
Unlike many people who would have given up at this time, Socrates says the challenges he faced rather encouraged him to aspire higher.
challenges and whatever, living on the streets and trying to make ends meet. And those challenges, I should say, pushed me to a point where I decided that I must make it.
On one of his beach expeditions, his passion for filmmaking came haunting him again, and he decided to make that decision.
I was sitting under the shades there and I said, I want to make a film. What is stopping me from doing it? I don't have money. And I know filmmaking is also, it involves huge amount of money. So how do I do it? I said, well, sitting down and not making a move, I'll not do it. So I must make a move.
Getting some new friends to buy into his dream was difficult, especially when it sometimes took him more than a year to pay them back for their services.
I met a first friend. He was playing guitar. So I called him and I said, I want to make a film. Are you interested? He just looked at me and said, oh yeah, I will do it. So but in that evening, he was able to call 5 other guys and we had our first meeting. And I remember at that time I told them that my brother is in New York and he's bringing money. And I was having this email envelope. And I showed it to them that, well, this is a letter from my brother and he's sending the money. And I think that gave them the confidence that oh, actually money was coming.
Socrates recalls that after making his first film, there was huge opposition from recognized filmmakers.
Those who were supposed to also fight for us, see us as enemies. I'm talking of the big, old filmmakers who were supposed to encourage us when we started. It was not easy for us. I remember in those days, that is what I said, I am a video storyteller. It was difficult for us to even approach them, or they even recognize us as filmmakers. So there was a whole lot of talks and condemnations about wherever they get opportunity, they always have to lambast us, says that, oh, we are not filmmakers, what we are doing is not filming.
But he remained focused on attaining his goal, and as more and more ideas kept cropping up, Movie Africa was born.
I have lost count of the number of films that I've made, but it will get to about 60 to 70 films that I've worked on. There are films that I've made that I don't even put my name on.
What started simply as a young boy's passion now offers employment to about 200 people. He says though he has no certificates to his name, he is proud that he has been able to turn his passion into something that takes him to places.
I don't have any certificate. I educate myself, I train myself to be where I am today. And I should say unfortunately in Ghana, we are not recognized. But outside, I get invitations always. I was in Germany to handle, work with the Berlin Cultural Ministry of Culture. And what did I do? Just to raise young guys who wants to do film. And over there, their film industry is also going down. They are fighting Hollywood. So to them, it's amazing how we were able to kick Hollywood out of Ghana.
And so he was able to carve a niche for himself in Berlin.
One amazing thing I did there, I remember, was that there was this school, special school for children who they thought are not smart enough to do anything. So instead of kicking them out, they put them in a special school. So I remember one day, I was asked if I can teach them something. I said, oh, it's possible. We went to the school and I was able to do a musical video with them.
Because of his experiences in the past, Socrates takes delight in nurturing young stars and has impacted positively on the lives of some of Ghana's movie stars.
I've helped friends achieve their dreams. There are most of the artists that we have on our screens today who, I should say, I give them the first opportunity to be on screen. And there are some talents too that I met, and I wouldn't want to mention names to leave one, but there are a lot. If you should meet them on the streets, they will mention my name.
This is what some of his employees have to say.
Mr. Safo is a very nice man, and I think it's an opportunity for me to be creative, and I think you like him when you come into contact with him?
Oh, it's somebody who actually believes in you. If maybe you are doing something and you think you can't continue anyway, he tells you to keep on, have hope, and you can make it.
He may appear to be at the peak of his career, but Socrates believes that the best is yet to come.
There is a saying that if you have a long vision, you train people. If you have a short vision, you hire people. That is why I train people. So I have a very long vision. My vision is bigger. And I foresee a future where our small Hollywood that we are building, that is the Ghana Wood. If you go to Sapperman, we have a place there where we build a 3-story building. We house the artists there. Every week we produce one film. Every week. Today as I'm speaking, they are on the set shooting.
Though he does not encourage young people to quit school, he believes that education is not all it takes for one to be successful.
I don't believe in classroom education. No, I believe in apprenticeship. That is why everybody working here is not a scholar. Like you don't need a certificate to be here. I believe that filmmaking is art, and art is something that there's no formula or form for art.
Safo says he has no regret for his actions as a young boy.
Though Bukom is noted for being very rough and radical, but I should say that I was fortunate to have taken that adventure because it has made me who I am today.
And like Socrates, you've also discovered your passion.